You just have not been able to knock them down at a high rate when you're looking at Harvey and when you're looking at Claw.
9-point lead over here on Command Center. Mavs Gaming clinging to a 1-point lead. It's 59-58. Been a great one over there. We'll check in on it in a second. Dukes of Benito's up by 9. Looking to close this one out. Over to Hez on the wing. Can't get it to go. Another missed 3 for Hez. His Blazer 5 in transition. Lavis gets the slam. Uh-oh. Lead is now 7.
So what you're going to see a lot more from here is that forcing Harvey into the play. He has 5 fouls, so you know you're not going to have to really worry about a lot of bump steals, any type of reaches coming out there from him. And this is also going to force B5 to have to rotate a lot more, knowing that Harvey has those 5 fouls. So it's going to be all about the patience and the passing coming out here from Killy as well as Vandy.
A monumental turnover for Bucks Gaming on the right side. Only a 7-second differential between shot and game clock. So the Bucks will have at least one more offensive possession. See if Mavs Gaming can hit a 3, maybe close this one out. So back over on the left.
These are the moments that hurt too when you're Mavs Gaming, like in this type of scenario, to where you go out there, you have to play it right. It's going to be the straight up defense. You just don't want it to be something if you're Bucks Gaming to where you're able to shut them down. And then the Mavs get that crazy offensive rebound, and then everything doesn't work out. So you take the risk, as you should, going out there to try to get the stop. But then that's something that gets you, especially with the popper out there. We got to throw that into the mix too.
33 for Johnny Red on the right side. His scoring this week has been absolutely outstanding. The big steal on the left side. Dukes of Benito's, they're back up 11. I think that all but ends the comeback train. Portland going to keep plugging away, cut the lead to 9. Let's take a look at the right-hand side. There we go. Thank you, production team. 59-58. Let's see if Mavs Gaming can put their win streak to 2. Dallas inbounds. Gives it up to Kenny Zeus. Over to Glow as the backcourt runs into each other. 5 on the shot clock. Guy gets something off. Gives it over to Reezy. Looking for anything. Back to Kenny Zeus. Needs to put one up. Well defended. Who's going to get the board? It's Glow. Glow picks it up, the first pick in the second round. That might ice the game for Dallas. Bucks Gaming has to be stunned.
And what did I just go through during that timeout? I was like, you got to hope that if you're Bucks Gaming, you go out there, you play straight up defense, that when that shot goes up, that it's not Glow coming out there with the offensive rebound, because now you find yourself in an even worse situation. Only 4.2 left. You got to play the free throw game. The only good part is here, right? You can't mess around if you're Bucks Gaming and try to get anything fluky. As soon as that ball's inbounded, you have to wrap it up. So we've seen something as quick to where you can burn 0.6 off the clock. That's how quickly you can get some of these fouls to go through. And they have timeouts to work with, so it's not completely off of the cards. They go to the line, they make both. It's still a 3-point game. You can set yourself up for a tie.
Call him Dirk Stradamus. Calls out that offensive board. Does need to be noted. One Wild Walnut, one of the best rebounders in league history, Dirk. That popper build that he is on has very good offensive rebounding, very little defensive rebounding, and you saw it there as Glow was able to get the offensive board over him on that defensive anchor build. Mavs Gaming going to try to inbound. They will to Glow. Foul coming in for Bucks Gaming. 3.2 on the clock. Milwaukee has 2 timeouts, so this game is far from over. We know that this Bucks Gaming team, Dirk, they can hit 3s in bunches. So let's see if they got one in their back pocket here. Glow hits the first. They'll hit the second. There's the timeout.
Also, like, that's the issue. Going back to the point that we brought up with Glow, he knows that when a play's broken, he just gets to fight for positioning, and he's on the way better build to be able to go out there and get something. Now, let's break down, if you're Bucks Gaming, your Coach of the Year, Lance Sessions, what exactly are you drawing up? Because in these type of scenarios, there's 3.2 on the clock. It's a 3-point game. Mavs are going to play that 5-out defense. You're going to see everything come from the corners, the 2 on the hash, and then 1 up top. Any rotations that come through, it's going to be up to the Mavs to try to stay disciplined in this scenario. Is there an opportunity to potentially get a quick 2? And I mean Harris quick. Like, if there is just an open lane to get down there, you could potentially take it. But it's tough because, again, you got to rely on these 50-50 shots if you're Bucks Gaming. And I think this is something you got to turn to Johnny Red. He's had the hot hand the past couple games that they've ended up playing. You know that he's more comfortable with shooting some of these pocket shots. But don't write it off, right? You have a popper out there for a reason. We saw Loki Godlike try to get something a little crafty. Philly try to get something crafty. It's kind of been the go-to in these type of scenarios for teams.
Well, here we go. 3.2 seconds on the left-hand side of your screen. That'll be another timeout for Bucks Gaming. I want to talk it over a little bit more, trying to make the perfect play. 3.2 on the clock. As Dukes and Benito's on the right side, they hit both their free throws. That's a timeout. 10.1 on the clock. As Dukes, congrats to them. Back-to-back years making it out of tip-off group stage. Obviously did it last year with a very different team. Dirk had Mario at center, had ball-like Seam at point guard, Majestic at lockdown. It's a very different looking Dukes and Benito's team.
Feels like an eternity ago, right? Haza, the coach with that team too.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. It's only been a year since we ended up seeing that, but it's a good way that they were able to go through, kind of revamp everything to go in their favor. We kind of knew on draft night, like Vandy's more likely going to end up going somewhere. I know he hasn't been the superstar fives guard that maybe people would have anticipated, but still a good vet to have on your squad.
Both timeouts coming down here. Bucks Gaming on the right-hand side of your screen. They need a 3 to send it to overtime. Blazer 5 Gaming, they need a lot more than that. Let's see if Milwaukee has a miracle. It's inbounded. Johnny way downtown, now gonna go, and that will do it. What might be an iconic win for this Mavs gaming team this year. They knock off the reigning champs 61-58. And Dukes and Benito's, they ice this game as well. They get the dunk for posterity and one. That's great for point differential. As Duke's gonna go up by 10. They're feeling good over there. One of our local market teams. Oh.
4-point play. Harvey fouled out.
Oh, and the foul. Okay.
The rare 4-point swing off of a dunk.
And Blazer 5 Gaming, they'll take a timeout, see if they can get some point differential help here. 3.5 left to go, down by 11. This win, like I said, will clinch the tip-off bracket play spot for Dukes and Benito's. All they needed was a win. Lakers Gaming, Kingsguard Gaming, obviously 1-4 each. They have no chance of hitting that 3-win marker, which Dukes and Benito's is about to hit. So that will be the end of Group A. T-Wolves Gaming, Blazer 5 Gaming, Grizz Gaming, and Dukes and Benito's. They will be your teams coming out of Group A in the Western Conference. We do have one more game in this group. 2 more, I should say. T-Wolves Gaming, Lakers Gaming. The game of the week coming up tonight. This T-Wolves Gaming looks to stay undefeated in group stage. Then we will see Grizz Gaming taking on Kingsguard, another Dimes Bowl. I guess I should call it our Trail Bowl. See, it's good. The bowls work.
This is a tough one because when you go to the box score, they were dead even in towards turnovers. Actually, I think one turnover went over towards B5. They out-rebounded Dukes and Benito's by 6 rebounds. It was the guard play. Like Vandy and Killy turned it on. 52 points combined between both of them in this matchup.
Well, that will close things out over here. Dukes and Benito's, they break their losing streak and they will finish the tip-off powered by AT&T group stage with a 3-3 record and a spot in our remote bracket play next week. We'll play Dukes and Benito's back-to-back years in the tip-off group stage for our Season 5 expansion team.
of the week going down tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. We got the T-Wolves taking on the Lakers. It's going to get heated up so far for sure. And here is the future matchup. All eyes on the paint. We got Crazy taking on Slaughter. But they're also going to play in this hour. T-Wolves taking on the Kings. In our future matchup, Harris, we got the Pacers taking on the Jazz.
Yes, I'm very excited for this one. Lot on the line for Pacers Gaming. If they lose, their tip-off powered by AT&T Dreams all but come to an end. Pistons GT, I believe they hop over Pacers Gaming if Pacers come out of this with a 2-4 record. I'm going to have to check with my point differential buddies, but this is not a situation we expect.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the NetsGC Clubhouse, where me, you, and the rest of the crew can catch every single second of every single NetsGC game, and perhaps none more important, at least on the 5v5 side of things, than tonight's matchup against Heat Check Gaming in a win, and we're in scenario. A little bit of a love-hate relationship with this situation, because you love to see high-stakes 2K League basketball being played, but, man, to have it happen so early in the season is crazy. But I'm so pumped to be watching it with all of you in the chat. Mama Greens, Jen, Fail, Sosa, what's up? Here we go. I like the willingness to kind of get out and run for easy baskets, but Glenn, tough shot there. Great defense by Steez. Sean gets the loose ball, and this time we get two in transition. What's up, Mula on YouTube? A few people on YouTube right now, so again, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, I mean, we appreciate it, as always, the support. We're just so blown away by it. It's been consistent all season, and even more exciting, it's grown every stream that we've done. Two now. Every possession just feels so incredibly important, but that's what makes this game and league so entertaining to watch as well. Hopefully everyone is having a good Friday night. For those who... Oh, no. Tough inbound. Kai going to make us pay. Yeah, he does. For those who aren't aware, this game was actually supposed to happen last night, but due to a... I want to say server-wide issue, nationwide issue, the league had to reschedule. Man, we got really lucky there. I mean, we're playing good defense. This game reminds me so much of that tip-off tournament on stage in Indy against Heat Check Gaming. both teams just playing really good defense, like a combination of good defense and a little bit recklessness on offense. Great defense by Shots. Go, go, go. There's that foul. It almost seems like, at least in the last 2 years, NetsGC and HeatCheck Gaming have been attached to the hip, almost like that rivalry with Hornets Venom GT, where we just meet on stage, no matter what year it is. It's a good pass. We will take that foul. Because we played HeatCheck Gaming on stage first round against, during the tip-off. They beat us. And then we played them again on stage first round of the Steel in 3v3 last year in Indy, and they eliminated us again. So here's another chance for HeatCheck Gaming to put us away in a tournament, but the guys are fighting early on. We were down 7-2, now 1 free throw away. And it's nice to see Steez get on the board, right, chat? Early on. I know there was a big deal of him misses that free throw, hitting a 3 late in the game, and those being his only 3 points on the main broadcast. But it's going to require a complete team effort here tonight against HeatCheck Gaming. Love it. As soon as, I know it's kind of awkward to have just the game sounds. I wish we could have the team comms, but we want to try and protect the guys a little bit, let them be themselves for a majority of the game. But as soon as we get on the main broadcast, we'll head there. Good foul. Way to fight through that, Sean. Short clock scenario. Got to hold beast move. Got to contain him. That's good defense. It's good defense. You'll notice a lot of the times, I mean, Kai and Smooth are such talented guards. I mean, they'll take the midi, but they really don't want it. They'd prefer to fade out back to those wings once they get the defender to the jump. So, baiting that corner pass. I like that Greens. Man, so impressive for a youngster, for the rookie to just kind of survey the court. Look for those small window shots. It's good defense. I like it. Moolah, yeah, Moolah, guys. Moolah on YouTube says our defense is different. He loves that about us. I agree. When this team, statistically, this team has been better offensively than defensively so far in the tip-off. But our bread and butter last year was the defense. And so once that catches up, sky's the limit. The rebounding, the second chance points has burned us so far this year. So that's going to have to improve, or we're going to have to clean that up if we want to win this game. Good board. Let's go. 3-on-2. 3-on-2. What do we want? It's okay. Glenn's struggling to get going early. Missed that contested on the break in the first possession of the game. Tries to attack the basket here. He's denied at the rim. He's going to be key to a victory tonight. Nothing is going to come easy. He's going to have to bail us out of short clock scenarios at least a couple times. (11-11) chat. You'd expect we'd hold for last possession here. But against this defense, you might want to take anything early. Oh, they're showing red. What do we got? What do we got? I like that flare up. Streets shoots a contested. And there you have it after one. Locked in at 11. Both teams struggling from the field and from the three-point line. Turnovers about equal. Rebounds about equal. Honestly, everything but the steals and the blocks. Kind of dead even across the board. You'd have to think the first team to start, to get hot on the offensive end is going to be able to kind of control the pace the rest of the way. You don't want to play catch-up, especially when it's trying to make up, a 6, 7, 8 point deficit. I think that game, the way this game is shaping out to be so far, points are going to be hard to come by. So it's those runs, right? Who's going to be the first team to get that 5-0 run, 6-0 run? What's up, Sav? For reference, you guys know if you've been tuning in to NetsGC Live from the beginning of the tip-off, this is not the first time we've played Miami. They are the lone team in our group that we're playing more than once. In that first matchup, they beat us 76-62. In the first quarter, same kind of similar result. Miami won the first quarter 19-18, but as you guys can see by the score, that one was a bit more hectic, a bit more fast-paced. The offense was flowing on both sides. This one, you can kind of you can see the intensity. You can see the players kind of know what's at stake here, so things have kind of slowed down to that traditional playoff-style pace. 11-11 as we lock in for the second quarter. Thank you guys for tuning in to NetsGC Live in this win and we're in scenario. I'm going to go over the updated standings at halftime, kind of explain some of the tiebreakers, but long story short, spoiler alert, all we got to do is win this game. We talk about which team is going to be the first team to go on that mini run, and both of these teams have the weapons and are well equipped to do so. Miami strikes first. Right now, Hornets, Venom, GT, and Celtics crossover on the main broadcast, so we'll keep it locked in here on the Command Center feed. Good foul. Good foul. Nothing on the break. The guy's doing a good job of taking away Kai's preference to let the deep ball go. It's a good foul. Okay, Kai on the verge here of going on a solo 6-0 run to begin the second frame. This is what we talked about, trying to be that first team to go on the mini run. Heat Check Gaming decides to claim that label. Now it's up to Brooklyn to answer back. Defense. Dietrich on the power forward. Going to need to get him out of there. Or, excuse me, Greens was on the power forward. Dietrich. If we don't score here, we're gonna need a timeout or something. There it is. Just got to be patient. Miami probably going to be willing to kind of give up that too. You hate to see it. Good contest there by Steez. That's his third already of the game. Third foul. Yeah, we just got to chip away at it. I think just based off Miami has how they've played throughout the tip-off, once they get a little bit of an early lead, kind of like NBL, they're more than willing to give up the twos. See if you lack the patience to take them. Good defense there by Dietrich. It's a good miss for us. We get lucky. Short clock. Need to come up big. Who can come up big on the defensive end here? Great defense by Glenn. Board up. And these every possession right now, I'm on edge. Love it. Need it. Big. Contested. But Steez knocks it down. He's got 5 already. Great decision by the youngster Greens. That's huge. Even just for the mental. Just stay disciplined here. Good defense. Shots get switched onto the PNR. Steez off ball. Shots does a great job of stepping. These final 2 minutes. Gonna be huge for us. We gotta let that go. We've seen a lot of those back plucks that were very prevalent early in the retail version of the game. We've seen a bit of that against centers who are holding the ball in the half court. We get lucky there on the bounce. Short clock scenario. Greens. Getting blitz. Glenn. Open 3. Knocks it down. So often, chat, these second chance opportunities have haunted us. At least on that possession. Works out in our favor. The defense. Steve steps up. That's a big time 3. Right, Kai, a lot of the times, he's not going to do it every time, but a lot of times he gets that crab. He'll wait for the defender to jump behind him, then he'll go fade for a 3. The lead balloons to 9 here. Get lucky on that layup. But we might be able to squeeze an extra 2 possessions out of that because shots went quick. Steez has to step up. He's switched now. Streets on the smaller center. Walls it off. Good job by Steez to switch back onto the big. Get Streets on Kai, which is what we want. Jump. Good jump. Great defense. I love that. The guys were on a string there defensively. You know, ideally you don't want Streets to switch like that down low, but he does a good job of holding them off for a little bit until they're able to switch back. Great job by Brooklyn. It's okay. Miami doesn't switch off the wrap. No way. He dragged him. Tough. Miami wanting to get on the same page here for the final 3.5 in the first half. Tough second quarter for us, but still a chance to keep it within single digits. Just want to remain within striking distance. 17-10 second quarter. Hurting us there. Kai carrying the load, 16 for Heat Check Gaming. A little bit more of a evenly distributed spread for our guys in the black and white. Shots leading everyone on this side with 8. No, it's tough to get a victory. Obviously, very much easier said than done here on my end. Not holding the controller, but I think for any team to kind of put themselves in a position to win, you're going to need a little bit more from your backcourt, and we've seen it time after time again. Greens and Glenn definitely capable of it. Nice little play, but we're able to jump out and get the contest. All right, 6 minutes till the rest of our tournament hopes are decided. Chat, again, wouldn't want to be watching this game with anyone else, so thank you so much. I know there's some people out on YouTube, of course, the crew in the Twitch chat, but again, really, these next 6 minutes going to be so important to the guys and Kurt. No, that's definitely, we got to just regroup and lock in. The funny thing about this being the last game and this team having already seen us once is we've got film on each other. We've got reps against each other. And so, which team has that little bit of extra in their bag, right? I'd imagine we'll see some stuff from Miami that we haven't seen in the previous 6 quarters against them. And likewise here with Brooklyn, I'm sure we have stuff that we want to go to and exhaust in these final 2 quarters. But again, if you're just tuning in, this is a win and you're in type of matchup for NetsGC. Despite everything that happened today, and today has been so hectic. Cigarette break. No, fair enough. It's been so hectic, and especially with the delay that happened last night, the amount of games and the amount of movement that is happening across all 4 groups tonight is wild. And so usually I'll have a chance to put together a quick graphic for the stream, but because there are so many things in flux, so many things in motion, and so many different moving pieces, you guys are just gonna have to hop into the spreadsheet with me. And so that is the current group right now. So NBL finally dropped a game, Gen G in overtime. And for those who were watching the game, you guys know we were this close to having our spot already locked in, because if Gen G had lost that game earlier this evening, we would have already clinched the final bracket spot in Group C. But Gen G hits a big 3 in the dying seconds to send it to overtime, and NBL drops their first game. So that puts Gen G up top right now with 3 wins. Philly, I think Philly also got a victory. I'm not too sure. But these standings are all up to date. I believe Philly beat Miami, and that's why they're 3-2 now. Regardless of what happens around us, I know there's still another NBL game later tonight, and another, I think they play ATL. But regardless of what happens tonight, if we win tonight, we're 3-3 with Gen G, and based off the different tiebreakers, we would get that last spot. So it's been a wild group. It's been a hectic group. Oh, what's up, DJ? That if you guys haven't already, like that, every NBL game, or I believe every NBL game, you can watch a feed with Nate doing commentary over it. So that's the game that I was watching. And our boy Nate has been in the chat a few times already this year, so he's shown a lot of love and support all the way from Australia. But here we go. 2 minutes till the final 2 quarters of this game. 28-21, a solid second quarter out of Heat Check Gaming. A little bit of a comparison from the last time we played them. Greens had kind of led us in scoring, I think. Let me just bring up the box score. Yeah, Greens had 20 and 5 on 66% shooting last game. He's well behind that pace. But you'd only expect for the rookie to kind of pick things up here in the second half. Shots had 17 and 6. Streets dropped 13 on 5 of 8 shooting. And then, of course, Heat Check Gaming coming away with the win last time. And they were paced by 45 points combined from Kai and Beef Smooth. So really tough to beat them when that Heat Check backcourt is popping off like that. I mean, we can hope, TJ. We can hope. Yeah, this is our half. Mama Greens, I'm with you. We've done a better job of kind of keeping the ball out of Beef Smooth's hand here, but I mean, you'd expect the vet to find a way to get his looks in the final 2 quarters. A big 5 points here from Steez early on, getting him involved a little bit earlier than normal. But, I mean, 2K is 2K at the end of the day. One of our guards going to need to kind of get going a little bit. Glenn's going to need to bail us out of these short clock scenarios. And you guys know how I feel about the opening few minutes of a second half and kind of dictating the pace here and starting strong. Just like in traditional basketball, you never want to be the first team to call timeout after halftime, right? Because then, you know, what did you use that halftime for? Hey, Trill. Nice to see you in here tonight. All right, here we go. Let's lock in. 28-21. Heat Check strikes first. I like Miami's decision to go through Beast Move early, kind of get him a little bit more involved, get him going. Glenn was hoping that corner would drop there. His shots was diving down into the paint. Bailouts, I mean, you guys have seen all year, bailouts have been not so reliable. Trill, let the positive energy begin while I drive. You know, of course, we appreciate you for tuning in, but please make sure you are safe while driving. But we love the support. We love the energy. Go, go, go. Each board. We need to come away with something here. That's tough. Green's a contest. Might need a timeout. We definitely get one. 35-21. Heat Check Gaming starts off on a 7-0 run to come out of this of halftime here and to begin the second half. Not looking good. We are about to navigate some murky waters here. The guys are going to need to come out firing on all cylinders after these 30 seconds here. NetsGC down by 14, largest deficit of the game. No, I agree with you, Trill. Turnovers have been a bit of an issue here tonight. Gonna need a response. I need it now. Good move. Say we needed that would be an understatement, but things coming just a little bit too difficult right now on the offensive side. We'll definitely take it. Bailout goes our way this time. Brooklyn starts on the other side of the court. Let's see if we can walk away with a second straight possession here with some points. Lady OG. Yeah, no, you're right. There is plenty of time. Definitely need to get going now, but there is plenty of time. Glenn throws it up. Sean's swiping now. I think no matter what, this can't be double digits entering the fourth quarter. Again, just kind of trying to remain within striking distance here. Guys go to a reset. It's a good pass. Good pass by Greens. Sean ready to shoot as well. Defense by Glenn, just gotta hold on. That's tough. E-Check Gaming immediately attacked the switch there. What's happening? What? I missed that, chat. That go off of us, off on the inbound? Thought it was tip. You hate to see it. I think Glenn went for the reach there, put himself out of position. Okay, 13. No, he doesn't. Good job. Good job, 5 seconds. Good rotation down, need help. All right, good defensive possession. So we can get another bucket here, get the ball out of his hands. Why is that inbound so terrifying all of a sudden? Yeah, ball. That's there. Greens had both. Knocks down the second one. Big three to stay alive. Again, we want to try to keep this under 10 headed into the fourth. Streets Burns are foul to give. Switch. There's a slip. Okay. Shots picks it up this time instead. I like that. Green shows a little bit. He doesn't want it. Got a board though. It's been our Achilles heel a little bit. Defense. That's stifles our momentum there a little bit. We work hard to get the stop. Unable to get the board. Good move by Greens. That is a tough 3 to take here at the end of the quarter. Smooth with some off-ball work to get open. All right, these last 2 quarters have been difficult to watch, guys. 47-32. Still time to make a run. Obviously, it's got to happen now. We pretty much have to play a perfect 4th quarter with Heat Check Gaming up 15 here. 47-32. Just kind of looking through the box score, just on an initial glance. Again, really containing Beast Move has been a plus for us, but the 5 steals from Dietrich has been so detrimental to our cause. Kai has been pretty efficient this evening. I mean, the 3-point shooting at league average right now for us, but I mean, it's really been the turnovers, some of those defensive possessions, not kind of closing them out on the second chance. But we do have a full quarter. We need a couple runs to get back into it. Mama Greens, we got this. I'm right there with you. DJ too cold. They can come back. Mula verse with the hands to the face emoji. All right, let's go. Let's lock in. Let's fight. I know we want it all back at once. Oh, we got... I mean, is that 2 or 3? Yeah, we'll take it. I know the urge to try and get it all back at once. That was 3. Well, we will definitely take it. The urge to get it back all at once is definitely tempting. But you wanna try to come away with something early. Like be productive in this opening minute. There it is. Tough streets with that lock build. Not gonna really out sprint anyone from half court. Oh, I thought that was an N1 chat. Okay, 5-0 run. I'm a big believer here. If you get beat, it can't be for a 3 here. If you want to get into lanes, jump lanes, and be a little bit reckless on defense, we can do that. Nah. I thought Steez had that for a second. He might have been a split second late. deficit back to 12. We get it right back there. That's a good, quick basket. Doesn't take too much time off the clock. There it is. That's a big turnover. No. We gotta be. It's okay. Don't jump. That's a good foul. Good defense, Greens. Watch Kai. Kai's ball. That's good defense, Greens. We got to board up. Good, good. That took about 6 seconds off the clock. 4:06. There's about maybe 10, 11 possessions left in this game. There it is again. Gotta go, gotta go. Be quick, but don't hurry. Streets, that's a bold shot. Let's see if he can get his own board back. Yes, he does. That's free. It's even better. All right. Here we go. 11-2 run for our tournament lives. If I'm not mistaken, Heat Check Gaming had 3, maybe 4, I want to say 4 turnovers headed into the final quarter. They have 7 now, so they've almost doubled up here. Obviously, Streets has been a demon on the defensive side. Getting his plucks, ripping the ball, and outside of maybe 1 or 2 possessions that we kind of gave right back, we've been pretty much perfect on the other side of the ball. So again, this is a settle down timeout from Heat Check Gaming. Regardless if they draw something up or not, they're going to go to what they feel most comfortable doing here to try and get 2 points to steal a little bit of that 2K momentum back. If the guys can get a stop here, though, we are cooking with gas officially. They go early. Here we go. High. Tough. Okay. Chat, I won't lie to you. I looked away because that was an open. Smooth misses it. One can do. Fade away midi. That's tough. That is a heartbreaking 3. Extends the deficit back to 9. Let's see if we can answer right away. Greens has shots early. Brings it down to 7. 2 and change left, so there's about, if Miami slows it down, they can maybe go 6 possessions here. If we speed it up, maybe we can try and extend it here to 7 possessions. Down 7. It's a good move. Get this ball. Huge takeaway by Miami. They call timeout. As I think maybe it was shots. Just try to get that loose ball tie up, jump up, or jump ball animation going. Here we go. Final 2 minutes, 150. The guys have worked hard to chip away at this 15-point deficit. They cut it down all the way to 6 before Kai hit a big 3, and then Heat Check Gaming forced a turnover. That 2K momentum loves to give and take away at the same time. We need to stop here. I think the guys here are going to get reckless, try and force a turnover. That's good defense. But we got to go. We don't have time. All right. We're this deep into the clock. We just got to make sure we get something. Dietrich shows just a little bit, but he's fine giving up that 2. We need 2 stops, 2 quick stops to have a chance here. And he's slowing things down. Streets, I'm okay with that. We gotta burn one anyways, but that is Streets' 5th. So for those who aren't familiar with the 2K League, a 6 foul doesn't foul you out, doesn't put an AI in like in retail, but it does give a technical free throw to the opposing team. So Street's gonna need to be careful. Kai looking for the shot, and he gets a 3 off. Big shot there by Kai. It's tough too because Streets can't be as aggressive as he normally would like to be on that possession. Shots tried to go for it. Eight points. There it is. I take the 3. Man, Streets with 5 fouls. Great steal. Cuts it down to 5. We don't have to foul. I'll send Miami to the free throw line. Not to say they intentionally fouled there. I thought that was a good pluck anyways. Or a good pluck attempt by Glenn. Oh, Streets not going out quietly. Big 3 there. That's an open, but we'll take it. All right, now we got to foul. Now we got to swipe. Wait for it. Trying to force double animation. I mean, I fouled. Timeout. Timeout. There you have it, chat. We dropped the game 59-55. A valiant effort from the crew. A 23-12 fourth quarter. One of the most impressive, fourth quarters or single quarter runs we've seen from the team, but unfortunately, it's just a little bit, too little, too late. Losing those middle quarters by 15, and to have to kind of exhaust all that energy and have so many different things have to go your way to complete that kind of comeback in one quarter is tough. I mean, the guys forced a crazy amount of turnovers in that final quarter alone, hit an unreal amount of threes, and still we were able to unable to close that out there and lose by 4 points. Tough way to begin the 5v5 season. We miss out on bracket play by just 1 game, and you hate to kind of look back on things, but I want to do so in a way that kind of looks at the silver linings, because there is still a tournament coming up, right? The playoffs are still within reach, and if for whatever reason you want to look at worst case scenario, every team can still kind of get in through the play-in tournament, and on the 5v5 side of things, that is the ticket. But going back to those silver linings, right? You play NBL pretty close down the stretch. You give NBL credit for a couple of those offensive rebounds late in the fourth quarter to kind of put us away. But you're right there, going head-to-head with the leader of the group. Against Philly, we're up 9 in the fourth quarter. It should have been a win, but Dre got hot at the end there. I think he shot perfect to close out that game. And even still, it gives us a chance in overtime, and we weren't able to kind of come away with the win there. So some missteps along the way. Obviously, a very encouraging start with that win against ATL. A big win against Gen G the other night, but overall, we just didn't have enough to advance to the bracket round of the tip-off. But that doesn't mean that the season is over. There is still plenty of NBA 2K League basketball to play here in Brooklyn. The champion has never, the overall champion in the first 5 years of the league has never won the tip-off. So if you want to take something out of it, there's that. But again, hats off to the guys on a group play. Obviously, we want a little bit more, but we will get it together, Faye. Like, there's still plenty of time to do so. It's just kind of cleaning certain things up. Sometimes we flash like crazy potential, like in that fourth quarter, like in the game against ATL, 75% of our game against Philly, where we're playing high-octane basketball on offense, and then on defense, we're absolutely smothering. But really, it's just, headed into the turn and using the next couple of weeks to recalibrate things and fine-tune things, head into the turn, trying to become a closer version of that final form that is NetsGC basketball. That will be especially key. Post-game, Lady OG, I'm not too sure. As always, I'll double-check with Kurt. But this one is as a competitor, I'd expect that this one was a tough one to take for the guys and Kurt. And, if there's a time for a team talk, I'm sure, it's happening right now as they try and kind of, accept the fate that has happened here. And but I know those guys really, really wanted it. So I'm sure tonight hurt. And so I will give them a chance to breathe here a little bit. We'll go back to the main broadcast, but I will check in with Kurt to double check. I'll let you guys know and keep you updated as always. And I'm going to have to check the schedule, of course, but let's see.
And closer to clinching a
Who won
spot
this
of
game?
their own, Dirk.
It's just wild, like the turnout they have. Oh, it's back! The 40 burger animation! It's back!
That's a crazy graphic, chat.
We've seen quite a few 40 burgers so far this season, guys.
We have indeed. We've had a couple so far.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah,
from the
double
point
check
guard
with Kurt.
spot, 2 from the shooting guard spot. Shout out Kel on Jazz Gaming for getting the first of the year, but Antoine Love the
But
first
we will be off
40
broadcast for a
burger
little
of his
bit. I
career.
mean,
Congrats. He has been
we might
ice
stream
cold since coming to the league.
something,
One of the best players that we've
just
had.
for the content.
Check out the locker rooms coming off the.
But because
coming off the loss
we,
Boston
for
and
the
win
first
for
time
Charlotte,
this
we're
year,
gonna
we're
head
not
to
going to be
quick
making
commercial
bracket
break.
play.
On the other side, 2 more
So this is a little
hours
bit of
games as we
a
close out week 2
unfamiliar
of the
feeling here
tip-off,
for us
powered
at
by
NetsGC.
AT&T.
But our next game won't be until the 21st. So it could be quite some time to, go through another NetsGC live together. But it'll be in the tip-off June 21st against Celtics crossover gaming. Yeah, it will give us time to build some chemistry, and I think that's what it comes down to. You don't want to make excuses, but again, we'll look to a champion as recent as last year with Bucks Gaming, right? Cooks and Johnny Red, they weren't anywhere close to what they were doing in the playoffs early on in the tip-off. You look at the Wizards when they first got JBM in his rookie year. JBM, the JBM that we knew in the playoffs and that backcourt, that team overall didn't really hit its final form till later on in that first season that they won together. So it's just about being patient, fine-tuning things, and building some chemistry, and trying to figure out how we can. Kurt has kind of said this already numerous times, not just in 5v5 but in 3v3. But trying to be, try to put a consistent 4 quarters together, or try to play a majority of the game at the level that they should be. We keep beating ourselves for sure. Yeah, Kurt says it all the time, right? There's a NetsGC. NetsGC's biggest opponent, more often than not, is NetsGC. Mama Greens, it's a day before your birthday. Oh man, I almost wish you hadn't told me that. Now I'm even more heartbroken. I was already kind of sad and very sad and upset that we had lost, but that would have been a great early birthday present for you, Mama Green. So happy early birthday. Minor setbacks for major comebacks. No, for sure, true. Made a deep runs in 3, so I get our early exits too early. Yeah, it's also a really good point. So I know early on we were balancing the 3s and the 5 scrims, and then once it started to kind of hit us, hey, we could make a really, really deep run in 3s, and ultimately we did, because we finished top 3. But once the guys did realize that, they put away 5s for the most part, and just locked in and focused in on 3s. So we're a little bit behind there on the reps. So hopefully that kind of catches up organically. Lady OG, you're watching them play in person against the Knicks. They play June 21st. Oh, okay. No, okay, I feel a bit better now. Mama Green's birthday is June 22nd. Let me add that to my NetsGC calendar. So we actually play on the 22nd. I don't want to release too much of the schedule just because we kind of want to wait on the league here. But
well,
hey,
we told you it was going to be a special night, and
NetsGC
because
Live,
it's
we will be
special,
playing
we're
on
going to do
June
2
22nd
stickers
as well.
tonight. So my second sticker's most satisfying performance tonight, I'm giving it to Pacers Gaming after their win over Utah. They clinch a spot in bracket round next week in the tip-off powered by AT&T. A very impressive performance from Chess, especially in transition. A big 20-point performance from him.
Still waiting to
it was
hear
the
back,
Pacers Gaming defense as usual that closed things
post-game,
out
but
down the
we'll
stretch.
continue
Maybe the
to
best game that we've seen from range so far.
watch this
Some
main
huge
broadcast,
steals leading to
for
some big
sure.
threes on the other end. Pacers Gaming, they were vibing all game long.
That
And
Group
they made
D
sure
is
that
crazy.
Jazz Gaming was out of this one. No
At least
comebacks here.
before we loaded
That
up
big three from
against
range
Heat
put
Check
it
Gaming,
away.
there was still a
We will
chance for
see
every
Pacers
single
Gaming
team
next
in
week
Group D
during
to
our
finish at
remote
3-3.
bracket stage. Congrats
So
to
I'm not
Pacers
sure
Gaming.
that's still the case
We will
now,
see
'cause I'm
coming
sure
up next between
some other
Mavs
games have
Gaming and
finished
Warriors
as well
Gaming Squad. Will
since
it
I
be
last checked,
Dallas
but
or will it be
no, that group
Detroit
D
joining
was
them
well.
next week?
Ooh, we shall see. These clinching scenarios are getting real juicy, I would say. And
Oh, yeah.
we're going to get into our 9 p.m. hour of games. So that means we have Grizz taking on B5. Now, B5, we saw them earlier today. They fell to Dukes Infinitos. Grizz, I believe this is our first time seeing them today. All the action, 18 games going down. When you look at this matchup, Dirk, what's going to be key for you?
Yeah, I think from Claude being able to pick up.
All right, looks like I'm gonna be able to get Kurt on. I just gotta send him the link.
In terms of his scoring, because CP, he's been doing phenomenal, right? We talked about the good start that he had in towards 3 versus 3. He's playing pretty well when it comes over here to 5s, averaging 18 points per game at the point guard position, while Reese is chipping in that 13. I really do think, right, I know that we bring it up time and time again. We were giving Harvey his props, like back-to-back phenomenal games. Is this the start of something new? No, he wasn't able to hit a lot of those open opportunities. Meanwhile, everybody else, especially towards the second half of that ball game, Claude was able to capitalize on those. And really, there isn't that much of a struggle when it comes down to the off-ball shooting from Chaos. Lav can be, a little bit up in the air here in this one. So I think that's really what it's going to come down to. And just trying to attack the pick and roll as much as possible. You got Spartan out there.
All right, so
Dimes, he's one
Kurt
that's
will be
gonna
joining
out
us
there
shortly.
towards the pick and roll as well. So just trying to attack any type of weakness that you can on Grizz Gaming.
If you guys have,
Yeah, you mentioned
as
that.
always, any
Claude being
questions
able to capitalize with 23
for
points.
Kurt,
Harvey
leave them in the
only
chat.
7 points for that backcourt.
Probably
Couldn't
the last
edge it
time
out and close out the game,
in
falling by
for at least a
single
few weeks
digits. But
that we'll get an
hey, they
opportunity to
have
do
an
so.
opportunity to attack this Grizz team. And Harris, when you look at the Grizz, I mean, they are coming in for the first time. Like, what it's going to be key for them tonight?
Well, Grizz Gaming, they just need to continue their recent string of good play. They started
Good
off
on
really
B5
cold,
for,
couple blown games over the past few
clinching a spot.
weeks, and then that huge 37-point win over Kingsguard Gaming. I mean, obviously, I'm sure Dimes is thrilled about that one, all things considered. But I want to just see them continue to be
I'm right
consistent,
there.
playing
I'm right
well
there
on
with
both
you.
ends of the floor.
Lady
This is a
OG.
nice tune-up match for both teams going up against another squad that's clinched his spot already. So this is going to be a good one. Might be an early preview.
We're
for
just waiting
later
for
in
Kurt
bracket play if
to
these two
load
teams meet.
in and give me
I
the
can't wait
thumbs
to see
up,
it. Nice little
and then
appetizer
we'll
teaser to see how
bring
these
him on
teams shake
screen
out.
here.
We'll get that rolling very shortly. B5 taking on Grizz in our 9 p.m. hour, and over in Command Center,
All right.
we'll have Warriors taking
Folks,
on the Mavs.
let me just
We've been
lower the broadcast volume here, but we should be good to go. Let me know if I need to adjust any volumes levels on this end. But joining me, as always, NetsGC head coach, general manager, OG King Kurt. Not the way we wanted to end our tip-off run, Kurt. But just, talk a little bit about what you saw from the guys tonight and how heartbreaking of an ending that was.
Yeah, obviously not the way we wanted to start the 5v5 season. It's unfortunate because this is pretty much how our games have went. This one's a little ugly to start. We fought back towards the end. Unfortunately, timely mishaps in the middle of some runs. But first off, hats off to Heat Check. Kai, he played phenomenal. 30 points, 8 assists. They play really good defense. They earned the victory. The thing with us is that, it's not looking pretty right now. Some teams that start out, they look really well in the beginning. Right now, we're a team that's not looking that well, not playing the way we can play individually, but definitely not playing the way that we're capable of playing as a team. And sometimes that happens early. Sometimes it happens later. So I think we, going to get back to the drawing board. Definitely got to tighten up some things on both sides of the court. I thought tonight, defense was pretty much keeping us in the game. We just couldn't get going on offense. Too many turnovers, too many bad shots. And they capitalized off of all our mistakes pretty much that we made with a lot of bad offensive possessions. We made a run right there in the fourth, and then Ty was bringing the ball up and he loses it, and that kind of killed a lot of momentum that we had going. But definitely just got to tighten up. Like I told them, at the end, I didn't hold them long or anything. I said, but individually, y'all got to play better, and as a team, we got to play together, play better, and get on the same page. And like I said, sometimes that takes time. We're not hitting the panic button or anything like that. Because obviously, we dropped 2 games before this game that we easily could have won and pulled out. So not really. You're gonna be disappointed, but we're not really gonna hang our heads or anything like that. We'll be back in here practicing tomorrow and the rest of next week. Just trying to get back ready for the turn.
Yeah, we were talking about potential silver linings, and those 2 games you referenced, probably, the Philly game we let get away, up 9, headed in the fourth quarter, and then, of course, headed down the wire against NBL, and some of those offensive rebounds coming back to haunt us a little bit. Kurt, I think as we sift through some of the disappointment tonight and look at additional silver linings, in the bigger picture, because we've been so successful this year, this is the first time NetsGC is missing out on in-person play in DC. And so that does mean an extended amount of time away from the sticks. It won't be till later June till we play our next official game. So with that in mind, what is the plan for the guys, for the team over the next few weeks, considering we've never been in this position before?
Yeah, I think it's something that I'm gonna plan to do. We're beyond practice. Probably do some team bonding events. Try to get some more cohesiveness away from the game, and hopefully that correlates over into the game. You're definitely right. It's gonna be a long stretch that definitely we haven't been accustomed to. But you know what? It may be an experience that we need to taste right now because most of the players in this league are confident, very confident, ego driven. I mean, that's part of how you become a pro and you get to this level. But you can't cheat the game.
Mhm.
Like, you cannot cheat the game. You can't come into games, not having the appropriate approach each and every day and thinking that something magic is going to happen on game day. Like, I mean, we're a team that's fully aware of our flaws, and until we fix those, this is how we're going to look. I mean, and that, that just goes in the nature of the game. I mean, you definitely have to start approaching practice in situations and things of that nature, regardless of what another team is doing. You have to come in with the right approach and getting better, like I said, as individuals and as a team, and then have that roll over into the game. And this is, every situation that we were put in each of our losses in group play, it's not foreign to us. It's situations that occur, regularly in practice and things like that. Until you start overcoming those obstacles successfully, you're going to keep meeting, and that's pretty much what we've been experiencing. So, like I said, I'm not hitting the panic button or anything like that. It's going to be a long stretch. Of course, it'll be practice. It'll be some days off. Definitely try to schedule some team bonding events and different things like that, just to stay fresh and keep our minds right. But sometimes, I'm not one of those for, having to learn from losses. But if you do have to learn from, make sure you learn from it, move on, and make sure it never happens again.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, I don't know, I think there's a good chance we might look back on this. You hate to be in this situation, but you look back on this and be like, hey, maybe, those 2 weeks away from the game officially did us some wonders, because it almost feels like, we've talked about this off air, Kurt, it almost feels like we've been nonstop playing 2K, like no break whatsoever the last couple months. So here we are now. I've got maybe one more question, chat. If you have any questions for Kurt, please drop them in the chat below and we'll get to it. We don't want to keep Kurt here for much longer. But Kurt, what do you think is the consistency?
Hold on, Chris, your audio. I'm having a hard time understanding your audio. It's sounding a little muffled. No, I'm saying I can hear you good now.
Oh, okay. Here, 1 second. Let me adjust
Okay.
it.
No, you good now.
I'm good
Right.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
You can hear me, chat. You can hear me. Let me know. But last question here from me, Kurt, is what do you think is the key to finding some of that consistency? I know all year you've been telling me, the biggest opponent NetsGC has is NetsGC. And there are times where we look like, a really elite team, like in that fourth quarter, right? We drop 23 points. We hold them to like 11 or 12. And then there are times like those middle two quarters where we can't really, seem to get things going on either side of the ball. So what do you think is like the key to finding that consistency?
I mean, I've been saying the whole time is that we have to learn how to score at an efficient rate. Whether it comes down to making shots, whether it comes down to making the right reads, whether it's an extra pass, whether it hit the slip or dot in the corner, like those are things that we have to get better at, because there are times that even when we're turning the ball over, we're still getting stops and getting chances to score, and we're not always taking advantage of them. And a lot of times, even in games where we've had leads, we've never been able to do it in layers enough, because a 5-point lead should be going to a 10-point lead, and a 10-point lead should be going to a 15-point lead. But when you're not capitalizing off your turnovers and things of that nature, you look around and you find yourself in a dogfight. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to realize, like, we're playing 2K, and you're playing against the best players. And there's only so many times that you're going to get a chance to get stops on, prolific offensive players in this league. And before you know it, you find yourself in a dogfight that you shouldn't even be in. And those are the little things that add up that we just have to get better at. I mean, it's really, the good thing about it's not anything difficult or complicated. that we're not doing. We just have to lock in and do it. I mean, even that game, I think as good as Heat Check played, they didn't force us into anything. We forced ourselves into a lot of situations and then put our backs against the wall and having to fight back. So, I mean, I felt like pretty much the defense has been fine. It can have some tweaks here and there or whatever, but offensively, I think it was at halftime we had I think 7 turnovers from the backcourt, and we only had two field goals made. Like, it's going to be hard to beat teams when you're not scoring. I mean, because there's only so many times that you're going to be able to get stops in a game. I mean, it's not like you're going to be able to hold good scores or great scores for long periods of time in this game. Via the Sixers game, like Dre, you can only hold players like that for so long, and they're going to score. So you got to make sure that you're scoring, even when you're not getting stops. I mean, I've had experiences in this league where we've had high-powered offenses that didn't get stops, but that was the one thing that I used to always say, like, no matter what, you got to score. You got to score the ball, because eventually you can get stops, but you got to score. Like, so then, like I said, there's this approach that we have to start taking and just being efficient on both ends.
I'm glad you referenced that first quarter at the start of the game, because it was like a gritty 11-11 game, and the team got, like, I think NetsGC forced 3 turnovers in a matter of, I want to say 2 minutes there. It reminded me of when we played Heat Check Gaming in the tip-off on stage, where it was just so gritty and both offenses just couldn't get going. We're going to take one question here from the chat, and then we'll sign off, Kurt.
Okay.
I might be able to answer this for you, Kurt, but I'm going to let you handle it, Kurt. So she asked, does the backcourt ever look to switch up roles between the 1 and the 2? How has that looked in practice? If so, I'd imagine we've had Greens exclusively at the 1, if anything, just to streamline his development as a rookie, as a starting point guard in the league.
Exactly. I'm not one of those who start panicking and switching out of positions and stuff like that. We drafted Greens at number 2. To play point guard. Like, he is not going to shooting guard. So, no, that hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen. I mean, Greens is the future here in SGC at point guard, and that's the only place that he's going to play.
Yeah, I think we got you, Trill. Not saying that that's what you were indicating, but I think, in my opinion at least, something has gone wrong terribly in Brooklyn if we're resorting to Greens going from the 1 to the 2. Definitely a possibility, not saying anything's not out of the question, but no, for sure, I'm aligned there with Kurt. Nets World, appreciate you, easy. I mean, Trill, you'll see Glenn's usage go spike, during moments in the game and have him kind of attack off lock. But yeah, who knows? There's a lot of questions that kind of need to be answered, a lot of time for us to kind of tweak things and fine-tune things. If one thing is for certain, Kurt, I think we can all agree this is not the final version of NetsGC, and we've got some time to figure out what that final version looks like.
Exactly.
Kurt, any final thoughts? Again, I'm sure we'll be on stream again at some point in the next 2 weeks, whether we're playing 2K or we're playing other games. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to talk to chat, but this is our last official NetsGC live show in the next little while. So any thoughts, words, or comments you kind of want to send us off with? Because we are taking a little bit of an extended break.
No, as usual, thanks everybody for supporting SGC, coming into our Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook channels, watching the games. I apologize for giving everybody any cardiac issues for the way our games have gone throughout this.
Going through it today.
If you're going through it, imagine what I'm going through. But no, just stay with us, stay believing in us. Like Chris said, this is not the finished version of NetsGC. We're going to get better. We're going to learn from this. I mean, I think the bitter taste of, like I said, us sitting here in Brooklyn, which is not a consolation. But we'd rather be in a position to compete, to travel back to DC to make some money. But no, just thanks everybody for tuning in, supporting. Look for stuff coming from our social channels in the upcoming weeks, and we'll be back at it in the middle of June.
The last time Kurt gave us this a similar talk, we were experiencing an early exit in the the switch, and the guys responded with a top 3 finish in the 3v3 playoffs. So we got to believe. I'm very excited to see the guys take the court next and to see what that next version of the team looks like. But on behalf of Kurt, the team, everyone over at the NetsGC organization, thank you again so much for tuning in to NetsGC Live, both on Twitch and YouTube. You heard Kurt. Make sure you follow at Nets Gaming Crew across all social platforms. Got a bunch of stuff coming out in terms of content. The next episode of Crew Access will premiere next week. And just, again, other things to kind of keep you up to date with everything that's going over here in Brooklyn. But, again, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the beginning of your wonderful weekend. Have fun. Spend time with friends, family. Spend some time away from the game, then come back with us here live on NetsGC's Twitch and YouTube streams. Thank you again. Have a good night. See ya.